Jack Grealish over Sterling this season.
No, what you're about over.
I know what you're doing, Mo. I know what you're doing. I'm not having it, Mo.
He is Arsenal, isn't he? He is an Arsenal fan. I can see it.
He's definitely not an Arsenal fan.
Mo is being clever because we had a discussion earlier on today, and Mo all of a sudden wants to try and make out that Jack Grealish isn't a very good football player.
That's not honestly. That's not out of a sudden. I've been saying it.
Mo doesn't even rate Sterling, so I don't know how.
Hang on, you don't rate Jack Grealish?
No, I actually think that Jack Grealish last year was the only player that was disposable, that was replaceable at Man City.
Can I ask you a question based on that?
Of course.
Listen, I hate to be that fan that says, well, you know, one of the best managers in the world likes him, so why don't you? But I'm going to be that guy.
You can ask me anything.
Pep Guardiola, we talked about this the other day, LB, right? In every big game I saw last year, in every big game, Mahrez wasn't the guarantee. Foden wasn't the guarantee. Bernardo Silva wasn't the guarantee. Grealish. Every game, big game, Jack Grealish is the one that Pep Guardiola calls upon. Why?
Okay, so his team. I can answer that. I can answer that simply. His team was winning at the end of the season. Bernardo Silva provided something that is different than Riyad Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez was providing the flair. Pep Guardiola wanted more controlled. However, I think Jack Grealish, his job was just to keep the ball and do something that a lot of other players could have done. That Bernardo Silva, not a lot of people could have replaced him. Gundogan, I can name that all of them other than Jack Grealish. He was getting players towards him, winning fouls. A lot of players can do, which is proved.
But they can't, can they? They can't.
Let me finish.
No,
they can. A lot of players can, which proved this year when Jeremy Doku arrived at the club and he provided something different. He completely started Doku in most of the games. The reason why Jack Grealish was playing last year, it's an expensive toy that Man City bought, and he didn't want that to fail. So Jack Grealish wasn't hurting the team, but I don't think he was benefiting the team that much. Of course, he's part of the 11 players, right? But the fact that Man City fans keep telling me that it's instructions, so why now he's given instructions to Doku because he can do it? Jack Grealish has been doing that for Aston Villa. Somehow he went to Manchester City and he didn't do that. But Jeremy, my proof is that Jeremy Doku starts every game now and he's lighting up the Premier League.
Hang on, and I'm going to bring in. I'm going to ask LB here. I'm not an expert on this, but I'm pretty sure didn't Jack Grealish just come back from a big injury for one? No, and two, I'm sorry. So the reasoning behind the best manager in the world playing one player more than the others in a treble-winning season is because he's not as good as the others.
He had no others. Just a little. He had no left wingers as well. He had no left wingers as well that were fit to play that role. That is my opinion as well.
No. But look, Saba, I hear what Mo's saying to an extent. I don't agree with the whole Jack Grealish ain't. I think Grealish is a baller.
I'm not saying Jack Grealish is a bad player, guys. You're not hearing me.
No, but do you know why? Do you know why I think you are? Wait, Mo, no, because you spoke for 3 minutes. No, but do you know why I'm saying you are? Before you say that, but you know why I'm saying that you don't rate him, because I know you don't rate Sterling, but you want Sterling in the squad over Grealish.
You're misquoting me. When I say I think Jack Grealish is replaceable, doesn't mean I don't rate him. He's a great player. But is he the one that was replaceable at City last year? Yes. When I say, for example, because I just explained to you. I don't get it.
But hang on. But you explained
my opinion.
Okay, in your opinion. But if he was replaceable, why is he the only one that wasn't replaceable? You do realise Phil Foden can play off the left. You do realise Riyad Mahrez can play out from wherever he wants.
He was injured most of the season.
Not most of the season. No.
A big part. Yes.
All right. I'm going to have to do my fact finding to see how much
go
porky pies are going on here.
LB can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, but you know what, Mo? Like LB, I do need answers about one situation, because I agree with nearly everything Mo said, but I need the explanation to why Doku looks like he's been given freedom, whereas Grealish didn't. Is that an instruction thing, or he's just expressed himself? Yeah, but they're playing the same position. So, and Grealish can do a lot of the stuff that. I hear you.
Okay, but the answer to the question, you just have to the question. The answer to the question is they're different players.
They're different.
Haaland and Alvarez are both strikers. When Alvarez plays as a striker, he plays completely different to Haaland. That's the same situation. Gvardiol and Ake are both left backs. They both play completely different.
But what the question is, like, Grealish is reduced his game. He's changed his game for City. Like, to the point where he's not taking on players like he used to.
Has
he's
he
not
reduced his
being
game?
as
What do you mean by that?
creative. No, that's what I mean. He's not as creative and integrate as making that last decision in the final third like he used to. He's not.
I think people make out like this guy got a bare G
role as the main man that he can do.
I think it's more. He's had to be more disciplined. I think he's come into a Manchester City side that is well oiled, and everyone knows exactly what their jobs are. Let's be honest. At Villa, Jack Grealish.
But what about Doku though, bro? Why isn't Doku as playing as disciplined as him then? If that's what we're saying,
because different players, right?
He's a different player. They've brought in Doku to replace Mahrez, so to speak, from what Mahrez offers you. But what I don't get is I just really to quickly prove Mo wrong. I do like doing this, right? So you remember Phil Foden was injured for most of the season. Do you remember that? You just said that, right? So last season, just so you know, Jack Grealish in all competitions played 50 games for Man City. 50. Anyone want to have a guess how many Phil Foden played in all competitions for Man City? Bearing in mind he was out injured for most of the season.
47.
40.
I'll go for it's 41.
40.
Yeah, you've had a howler, bro.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
48 appearances
out of 50 games.
Huh?
Out of 50 games. The guy was
I'm sure there were a few where Jack Grealish didn't play, but this is what I mean. This is what I don't understand. When Pep Guardiola plays, there isn't going to be one that plays every week. Foden, Grealish. I mean, I could probably do the same right now for Mahrez. Looking at the same, none of them play week in, week out. But Grealish, just to put Kunle in his place, don't worry, I'm coming for you as well, Kunle. For a player that's not very creative, didn't he create the most chances in the entire Champions League campaign last year from any player at any club?
I don't know.
The reason I'm saying
if that's a legit flat, then
right.
I respect.
But
I rate Grealish. I just want to know.
I know you do.
Why,
I know you do.
I just don't know why it seems that. I just want to know why it looks like Doku's been given a bit more freedom. That's how it looks. I'm not saying that. I don't think he's a bit.
Okay, so I think there's two parts to this. First of all, Jack Grealish did an interview recently with City's in-house team, and he said when he was at Villa, Dean Smith said to Jack Grealish, just go wherever you went on the pitch. He gave him the free roll, right? Pep Guardiola don't give players free rolls. You've all heard the Henry story where Henry was playing left wing and he said, stay left wing, stay left wing. The guy went out of his position, scored a goal, and he got subbed off at half time because he broke the rules of Pep Guardiola. Mm-hmm. So I think Grealish is doing what he's supposed to do for Pep Guardiola, which worked, by the way, because we won the Premier League and then won the treble. Yes. And I don't believe actually Doku is doing a massive difference. I just think the way he goes about his take-ons is just more extravagant.
It's more direct.
Skills. I think it's more direct. You see, Grealish still takes on players. He doesn't take it on at the same rate as Doku, but I just think Doku, because of the way that he takes on players, etc., it just looks like he's completely different. But actually, I don't really think he's doing too much different. He just takes players on a little bit more.
The difference is,
Jack Grealish, and that's all I wanted. There'll be an answer. I didn't say I was right.
Two games this year, Jack Grealish. When I did some shows after the game, and I saw this Jack Grealish is the Jack Grealish of Aston Villa. He took players, created chance. I think against Young Boys and against another team in the Premier League when he came on. He was the Jack Grealish of Aston Villa that was worth 100 million. What I was watching from Jack Grealish last year, he was so cautious when he played. To get players trying to draw the foul and instead of actually trying to dribble or create something. You said that he created the most chances. I checked the fact. Yeah, he created chances. But for creating big chances, he's not even close to the top 20, actually, in big chances in the Champions League. But so we can go about the stats, me and you. I'm talking about my eye test. So let me finish that. My point, please. Let me finish my point, please. When I was watching, I'm doing you now.
Let me talk.
Now, the last thing about that, when I was watching Jack Grealish last year, I did not think he was providing some big things to the Man City team that was brilliant. John Stones was providing more. I thought even on the right, Bernardo was providing more. And I thought Jack Grealish, maybe his role was limited for Pep Guardiola. I'm not in the dressing room. But when I watched Doku this year, and I'm saying, oh, so you are allowed to do that. Now, Jack Grealish goes on the pitch, and he's doing what Doku did, sometimes better. Because he's allowed to, or because sometimes he is saying, no, I got to.
So are we saying, did Pep Guardiola get it wrong how he managed Jack Grealish last year?
No, I can't say that. Of course, they want to.
I know you didn't say it. I'm asking. I'm asking.
If I sit here and tell you yes, I'm an idiot because they want to triple.
Okay, so for what Pep Guardiola likes, though, from what I've always seen from his days at Barcelona and Bayern Munich, he always has two wingers that are very different to each other. One is more of your hold up, retain possession, drag everyone up the field, keep the ball, draw fouls. The other one is a bit more direct. So if you take his Barcelona days, for example, you had Pedro, who was very much the very different players, but in the same mold as Doku. Direct, get the ball, beat a man, run at your player. Yeah. Whereas on the other side, he had Henry in a bit more of that role, where Henry's game was a bit tempered. Henry's game was a bit more, right, hold the ball up. Don't do what you were doing at Arsenal as much. Isn't this all about the Pep Guardiola system rather
Henry
than...
was a hold-up player? I disagree with that. Henry was a direct player from the left.
Yeah. But I'm saying he was asked more.
He meant he changed his game, he know what he meant.
He changed his game a little bit. So you're saying that...
He changed his game a lot.
So to understand what you're saying, is that you think that Jack Grealish changed his game last year to accommodate what Pep is asking?
I don't think he did.
Okay.
You could see.
Actually, if you say that,
right?
I agree with you. Which means for me that Jack Grealish was a limited player last year because Pep Guardiola wanted to limit him.
Limited, but when you're saying limited, Mo, the problem is when you are, and no disrespect to anyone at Aston Villa, when you are the main man at Aston Villa in a team that just about scraped relegation, right? You are given free reign. Go and do what you want. Everyone else, just get the ball to Jack. That's your job. I don't care if we're on the right wing. Switch the ball. Get it to Jack. Jack. He's the main man. He comes to Man City and he's not the main man. He comes to Man City and he's not De Bruyne. He's not Bernardo Silva. He's not Erling Haaland. He's not Rodri. He is another one of those players that can rotate in and out and has his job in the team. So Pep's never going to turn around to a player like Jack Grealish and say, you know what, just go and have carte blanche. Just go and do what you do. Because Man City, LB could correct me if I'm wrong, Man City's game is about retaining possession of the football at all costs. Yeah, they retain. That's why they always have possession of the ball because they don't go
worse
gung
than all the
ho.
players you mentioned, or he's different?
Sorry?
Is he worse than all the players? You mentioned some names now. Is he worse or different?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay,
what you
so
mean.
you just mentioned he isn't that, he isn't this, he isn't that, he isn't that, and you mentioned a lot of flair players.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, he's better. He's better than them.
He's better than all of them.
I think he's better at all of them for drawing the fouls. His strength on the ball is underrated. He can drag you up the pitch, hold on to it. He can go left or right. And I mean, again, I'll bring it up.
This is a politician answer for you, Sava, man. This is not like you, man. This is. He asked you who's better, and you started listing attributes.
No, he said he's better.
But Kunle, but
he literally said he's a
critical
better
thinking,
player.
my friend. The thing is he better? Is he better than Riyad Mahrez at holding onto the ball, drawing fouls, bringing others into the game? Yes, because Mahrez is probably a little bit more direct, get the ball under control, cut in, have a shot, whipping across. They're again. Different footballers that we're trying to pigeonhole to do the same thing. Hence why he bought him. I mean, LB will tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what his job in the team was. But
I think he's fitting into the system that Pep Guardiola wants him to do. And I think he's doing everything that Pep Guardiola wants him to do. I think it's that simple, man. And I think when you play for Pep Guardiola, system comes first. I think that's the way the game goes.
And that's the bottom line, to be fair. He's doing what Pep wants.
Ask him, if he's doing what Pep wants, and that's how he looked on the pitch, fine then.
And they want a treble.
And all this,
that's the thing.
That's kind of like the icing on the cake of everything.
Like
LB, I would have just kept saying for 5 minutes, but we want a treble. I don't know why you wasted your breath on anything else.
Every time I talk about a player, if I don't like, if I criticize something they do, people come back and say, but they won the treble. As any team that won a treble doesn't have there are players that are better than others, of course.
Of course, there are players that are better than others, but I thought
I think Jack Grealish is the one that was replaceable in that team. I didn't think so. And I tried to explain it.
I'm going to go with Pep Guardiola for the fact that he didn't drop him in big games. That he didn't think he was droppable in those
Pep
games.
Guardiola knows better than me, of course.
No, but LB, do you think without Jack Grealish last season, you could have still won the league, the treble? Sorry, not the league, the treble. It's a whole.